Hey there, this is your host from Fatherhood Friday, here to tell you why AnchorFM.com is the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. Their creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right on your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Breaker, Bullhorn Radio Public, and much more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimal listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So if you're interested in making a podcast, stop by AnchorFM.com. It's the easiest way to make a podcast. Hey there, this is your host from Fatherhood Friday, here to tell you why AnchorFM.com is the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. Next on Fatherhood Fridays, Season 4.
Yo, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Just excited this week. Man, I have been trying to get this brother on air.
Well, I can tell you for sure that there are no perfect parents.
Mm-hmm.
And, I think, one of the biggest challenges, I think, for moms and dads in general is that parenting, you sense it. It's one of the most critical roles that you're going to play in life.
I think I shared my my feelings on that.
All right, so this is what I got so far.
We're back at it again. It's your host coming from coast to coast, stopping off in MIL where the players dwell, but we're not talking about a player today. We're talking about a good friend of mine, Xavier Swanigan, and he's going to be talking to us today about fatherhood and some of the many things he went through in reestablishing himself as a daughter. So without further ado, I'm going to give it up for my boy, Xavier. What's going on, man?
Not much, man. Everything is beautiful, man. I appreciate you for having me in such an esteemed position, and it's something that you got going on and growing day by day, man. You've always been a positive light from the first day I met you till forever, man. And it's been a pleasure to be your friend and the person that you just talk to and do what we did together. And it's always been a pleasure, man.
No problem, man. So for the people that might be listening for the very first time, you want to share anything about you?
I'm a business owner in trucking, got my own truck. From the MIL with the players, we do it real good up there. And I live down south now because in Alabama, the hot is heat and the heat is hot. And so I enjoy it down here, down in this area, right next door to Atlanta and other places and things of that nature. So just a man out here making it happen, building connections, and family first, and Jesus always on top of everything.
I hear you talking. So you said you from Milwaukee. Speaking of Milwaukee, do you think the Bucks is going to do anything this year? Y'all came close. I know you was at the sports bar and grill. I know you was at the sports bar and grill losing your mind. So now with COVID, do you think the Bucks can pull it off?
You know what? This would be the perfect situation for it to happen. We got the Greek Freak in there, and they got his platoon of sergeants and generals in there following his lead. I think it can be done in a short, abbreviated situation like this. Anything can happen, injuries, you always got to put that in there, things of that nature. So I'm in good spirits that we even integrate. Now, if they need an extra wingman, I'm still available. Now, so, you know what I'm saying? If you want to work that out with whoever you need to work out, talk to my agent, talk to your agent, whatever we need to do, I'm still available, ready to play, native, you know, what hometown hero guy, come on in, hit the game, win a shot, who else? You know what I mean? So if you need somebody Greek freak and you're just looking for that extra wing guy to come off the bench or start, you know what I'm saying, that's handsome on the court, on and off, I'm your man for you.
So you basically saying you the wingman, you not even good for 48 minutes, you just good for the clutch moment. That's what you're saying.
Whatever you need me for, I'm like a utility belt. You know what I'm saying? Used for all things. You know what I mean? You need me to get in there and get some rebounds. You need me to get in there and mix it up a little bit. I can do that. You need me to play the PG. I can do that. You need me to play the shooting guard, big, small forward, whatever you need. Or if you need me to bring you some water for a good price, I can do that.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it first. Xavier Swanigan. If those of you that might be connected to the Milwaukee Bucks, if you need a wingman, you need a six-man player of the year, this is your guy. I'll be sure to pass his cell phone along, and y'all can make it happen from there.
All right.
Well, shoot, man, we on this Fatherhood Fridays podcast today, and I mean, we're talking about reconnecting and rebuilding relationships with our son or daughter that might have went astray. And so I felt like you were a good person to talk about it because we've had many conversations when we were in undergrad and you were talking about your daughter and her mother and different things like that. And so, you know, speak about your daughter and how old is she? You know what I mean? When did you start building a relationship and how easy or how difficult was it?
My daughter is, to me, the most beautiful person in the world. When you see her, for me, it lights my fire, brings a unquenchable joy in my heart. I really have to maintain myself because sometimes I just want to just pick her up and just run off and grow wings and fly away to heaven because that's how good she makes me feel. I've been knowing my daughter since she was born. As soon as she was born, her mom brought her to me. I didn't know she was being born, but her mom brought her to me, and that's where we started connecting. Of course, I was back and forth to college, trying to make it to the NFL, NBA, NHL, whoever, NASCAR, whoever's going to take me. But that didn't happen, but I did get my education. And the rebuilding process has been continual and ongoing. And it's been frustrating at times, but rewarding at other times. The frustration is forgotten about once the task and the goal is met, which is to see her eyes and see her smile.
Okay. And so, what year for that? What year do you think that was about when that started to connect like that for you?
Well, the year it started to connect when I went back to her, when she was about 16, 17. I went to her volleyball tournament, and then I went to kind of see her when she was about 14. So from about 8 to 14, I missed because of my own discrepancies and inadequacies of my own life that I had going on. You are your greatest enemy or your worst ally.
Okay.
And that's never can be more true than my life story and my transition with her. It was more like, I got involved in not too much gangs. I ain't never really been a follower, but the activity that go along with it. Mm-hmm. Be honest with you, I'm gonna just shoot it to you straight. I had got a job as a club owner, working a club, managing a club. So in between that and we was running hoes from from Alabama to around about the countryside of Atlanta, down to Mississippi, and down to the country parts of Florida. So we was running hoes all through the Southeast pretty much. Whoever else will pay for it, bachelor parties, strip parties, things of that nature. That's a lot. And we had me and my partner, it was a partner thing, so we had the girls staying with us. So unlimited sex, unlimited fun, unlimited drugs. That's what the situation was. And then I turn around, go work the club. So that's what it was, you know what I'm saying? Then, you know, girls want to be famous, and I put them on stage, time to perform. You know, I had to keep to the club too, so, you know, during closed hours, if you wanted a little, you know, if you want a little setup, I charge you, and you come in there and do your thing. I'll also be in there and do my thing. So that distraction there really, and some other things I can't mention. I will fail to mention, but that distraction there prompted me to miss those years.
Yeah. And so, you know, did she come find you, or you came find her?
Neither nor. I went and found Jesus. I seen that the connection wasn't ready. I'll be honest with you, Tom. A lot of my things that I went through, I've been through the military, and I went through college, masters, things of that nature. Anytime that I felt depressed, down, out, couldn't feel like I couldn't make it, or I wasn't good enough, whatever the case was, I always thought about her. Okay. My thought of her and holding her and being with her, because when we used to be together, we wouldn't see nobody. Like, I'd be looking at her eyes, she'd be looking at my eyes, and we were entertaining each other. And we would feed off of each other. We both, you know, silly, got a kind of like, you know, funny atmosphere, you know, love to have fun, but when it's time to have business, we handle our business. But, so we would beat that connection right there. But, you know, in between that and her mom kind of trying to space out our time, she don't want me to come get the child, and she didn't want me to take her. And what was I going to do? You know what I mean?
Right.
Take the child with me and put her in a house full of strippers? Like, really?
Right.
Like, that's just totally you know, not considerate of other people and misleading and irresponsible. So I'm kind of glad that didn't happen. Or if it did happen, maybe I would have had to change. I would have definitely had to change out, because I don't want my daughter to pick up those kind of habits. Right. But I went to Jesus, to be honest with you. I got a divorce. I got married and I got a divorce, and because I'm living that street life, trying to, you know, be thug easy and do my thing on the side and all this. I got umpteen women chasing you. So you think this lasts forever. It doesn't. And so I came to recognize to myself when my wife pulled up on Facebook with another guy. So that pain right there totally ripped out my heart and sent it to Iceland. I was done. Mind gone. I thought it was over with. What did I reach back and get? The thoughts of my daughter and our relationship. What did I reach back and get? Them days I spent in church, that building, that close connection with God to redeem me and to restore me. And I asked the Lord, and I started reading the Psalms and Proverbs and lean not on your own understanding.
But in all thy ways, trust Him. That's my favorite scripture.
Really?
That's my favorite scripture.
In 22. I wrote it down. Yeah. So it was leaning back to Jesus. To be honest with you, I couldn't leave it alone. Because they was calling me too much, and they fine. And then, you know, the drugs is good. The alcohol, the booze. I'm talking about drugs. I'm talking about marijuana. But all that's good. But the Lord is better. Right. And my relationship was, I just didn't feel right. And then Also, what I tried to do was try to replace her with other kids. So I would go into a household and be like, treat them like my daughter was supposed to be getting treated. Not knowing that, and then expecting them to be over glad like my daughter would have been.
Right.
So when you do that, you projecting your love onto somebody. Hey, I'm going to love you like this, and you should have this reaction. It's nothing but a cause for disaster. Because when they don't react the way that you want them to, then you stuck with emptiness. And well, you thinking like, well, in my mind, you should have reacted this way. And then that taught me something else about love, that if I'm loving you and I do something for you, I shouldn't expect a reaction from you, a certain reaction. Why shouldn't I? Because I just did it out of love. And if I did it out of love, it doesn't matter what your reaction is, whether you like it or not. I just did it out of love and out of kindness of my heart. And I did it for the Lord, and to be pleasing in His eye and not in my own. So when it was in my own eye, I was looking for a reaction. But when it's in His eye, he's seen the action, he's seen the intention, and he knows it's good. But it also says in the Bible that a man that does not take care of his own child will not prosper.
Right.
So at the time, I was still paying child support, here and there, but I would pretty much stay on it. I would stay on that child support. But that was it. I wouldn't go see her. She got games. And as a result, she quit basketball. She didn't want to play basketball no more. And that was me and her connection, another connection that we had. But she didn't want to play basketball no more. She just wanted to play volleyball. So I like volleyball too, which is cool. But that was kind of crazy how she just quit that, because it was kind of like a closing of the door. Like she wanted to shut that part of her life off.
Right, because
even though me and her share that.
Right, because it's connected to you. And so if you're not there, then it's like, well, why should I continue to play something that's so connected to me and my dad? Because it might bring me pain every time I dribble the ball. Would you agree?
Yeah, that is exactly what it was. And so I just began to reevaluate myself, man. I had to take a look inside. Like I said, you are your greatest enemy or your best ally. And so who do you have to convince? Who do you have to defeat every day? Who do you have to die to every day? Yourself. The world really ain't a problem once you get yourself in control. Yeah, you're going to have your discrimination. People ain't going to like you for whatever reason. And I got 1,000 stories of people not liking me or can't stand me for whatever reason, but it didn't matter because God's plan is God's plan, and it still worked out.
Right. So talk about now. So like you said, you got back into your daughter's life around 15, 16, but she not little no more. She a teenager. She might be feeling the young guns out there. How do you cultivate a relationship when she not feeling maybe her mom or her dad anymore? She just want to do her own thing. Was that your daughter's case or not?
She, on Father's Day, she wrote me the best letter I ever read in my life. She told me that she is very excited about me rekindling our relationship, and that I pitched to her business ideas that I want to do with her. It's just including her in everything you do. Parenting is not up to 18, then I'm done and I'm back to normal state. Parenting is life. For the rest of my life, I will always be a parent. That would never change. Mm-hmm. Now, if I want to be a parent and be there for her, that's different. But parenting, you always going to have the same mom. It's never going to change. You're always going to have the same dad. Never going to change. And that's for the rest of your life. And what a blessed situation to be in for the future, to be looking to you, and not even looking to you, but be connected to you in such a way.
Yeah.
Remember, this person is part of you. Remember, this person is part of you. So she gonna struggle with the same thing you struggle with.
It's preaching.
She gonna go through some of the similar stuff.
Yeah.
And that you gonna go through, that you went through. So what do you do?
Yeah.
The best you can.
That's it.
So now I'm pressing forward. I let her know I'm in the trucking industry. I'm in the trucking business, got my own truck. So I'm letting her see numbers. I'm showing her, hey, please come ride with me. She moves in August 1st to her house, to her college house.
Mm-hmm.
So she's a sophomore now. Straight A student.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? The only time I seen an A when I was at an Atlanta Braves hat on. She's straight A student.
I hear you.
And straight genius. You know what I'm saying? I thank God that, you know what I'm saying, that's there. And she wants to continue to see me, even though that aspect. So how do I fight against the what's it called? I'm just gonna go in there, Tom, and ask for a date. I work for a date. I'm not gonna ask for a date. I'm just going to work my way to a date. Because just like you would you serenade a beautiful lady that you see that walking down the street, you can do that to the same of your daughter.
Mm-hmm.
The little different format, but the same intensity. Just like you would try to get some lady's attention who wasn't paying you no mind or kind of dissing off, and you wanted to get that lady's attention and wanted to be with her. It's the same thing you do with your child.
Mm-hmm. And especially,
there's no difference.
Yeah, and especially your daughter, because how you treat your daughter is going to be a backdrop on how she sees men.
Right. So when I go see her, I'm Mr. Snowcake. You know what I'm saying? I'm Mr. Open the door, open, this. I got flowers in my hand. I got, I send her poems and things of that nature. And you really serenade somebody, you know what I mean? I try not to overdo it, and sometimes I have to pull myself back because I'm like, okay, you're looking kind of weird now.
Right.
But I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even care because I've missed those times of morning time cereal, or she scraped her knee and I need to patch it up, or she got a bad grade at school and we need to go to class, or she did great in her sports, or great at homework, or great at this, and I was there, and I should have been there to reward her with ice cream sundae or something like that. I miss those opportunities. I miss those moments, but it doesn't stop me from making more memories, better memories, or working towards other memories, because that's what life is. At the end of it, no matter how much money you made, no matter what you did, and when you're on your deathbed, all you have is your memories.
That's it.
And that's all she's going to have of you, plus whatever else you gave her. So, but the most significant thing she's going to hold on to is her memory of you.
Right. And so how do you want to be remembered as a dad? At the end of the day, how do you want to be remembered as a dad?
I want to be known as a fighter, that no matter what her mama said, no matter what nobody said, that I was there. That anytime I could have been there, I was there, and I was present, and I was always present. And that, my dad loves me, and if anybody in the world says different, he'll punch you in the eye. I got one person, at least one extra person in the world that believes that I can do it, and that I'm made of gold. And that right there can propel a person to a millionaire status, or to be the best person that they can be. And that's all I want for her to be the best person that she can be. She's going for nursing right now, and she's going to be the best damn nurse out there. Number one on my list. I'm going to be her number one fan. That's what I am right now. A fan, a dad, a supporter. She handed me some homework yesterday, the other day, sent me to me on an email. I thought I knew English, but I didn't. Looking at that, a whole new reinterpretation of it. But it was fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got a chance. She shared her homework with me. You know what I'm saying? And that's a part of her world she didn't have to do. That's a part of her world she didn't have to do.
That's right.
And I asked her about it.
That's right. And I mean, I think in listening to you, that says a lot about your daughter because she's not holding bitterness or unforgiveness in her heart. You know, some kids, you absent for so long, as soon as you try to reconnect, they're like, it's too late. I'm on to the next chapter. But it sounds like your daughter doesn't deal with unforgiveness or bitterness.
Yeah, I think she kind of understands the dynamics of the situation, that sometimes I could have and sometimes I couldn't. And I'm an open book. I'm not going brown nose. I mean, like, you know, try to tell you the right answer. You know, it's not me, it's not her, it's God. I prayed about this. I fasted on this. I worked for this. There's no mistake in my mind. I paid my tithes for this.
Okay.
See, I wanted this. I was direct with this. This was not happenstance. This is not, it just came by the way.
It's intentional.
It just happened to happen. I was very intentional. Very direct. Hey, I'm coming to see you. I'm pulling up on you. I'm going to be at your graduation. I'm going to be at this tournament. I'm going to be there. When I get there, I'm showing up. I'm staying there till the last game. I'm coming to watch all your games. I'm not going to show up, come in there, half-hearted. I'm in there like I've been there the whole time. Who's the black guy over here acting crazy and yelling and cheering? That's my dad.
That's right. So she felt your presence.
But I prayed for this, and God gets the glory. Mm-hmm. Not me, not her. The Lord Jesus Christ gets the glory. And that's who's going to get the glory in the future, because that's the only reason why this will continue and go on to be manifested. Now, I still got to do my legwork. I still got to go see her. I'm in Alabama. She's up there. So I still got to go and do my due diligence. But you best believe I'm going to make it happen. And when I come, I'm going to come with love in hand. That's all you have to do. I remember my friend Zoe.
Hey, you out there. Voting isn't just going to the polls on election day anymore. Options like early voting, mail-in voting, and ballot drop boxes are available to more voters and are growing in popularity. How to Vote, a tool created by Democracy Works, breaks down the options your state offers for casting a ballot, empowering you to decide when and where to vote. For more information, go to howto.vote. Thanks.
Yeah, my friend Alonzo Brown, I met him in Tuskegee, you know him.
Yeah.
He told me something back in Tuskegee, and I didn't pay no mind. It came around and hit me right in the mouth, and that's where it's been ever since. Just love on him. Just love on him. And he kept saying that, just love on him. So I was like, whatever. But it came to me. Bam, you mad at somebody. It don't matter. Just love on them. You ain't been there and you ain't did this or did that. It don't matter. Just love on them. Or love yourself enough to go back and love on them. It's okay. Whatever happened, it's okay. Just love on them. At the end of the day, all that other stuff is just way too confusing. Just love on them. Love yourself enough to go back. Because that's part of you. You neglecting yourself when you don't go with your child. You don't see that, though. You just think, oh, my baby mama's crazy and this and that. It doesn't matter. Just love on them and go make it happen. It don't matter what happened. It don't matter what happened between me and her mother. It don't matter what I'm going through. Just love on them and keep it going. So I tell all my people, I tell all my family, I tell all my friends, I love you. And when they look at me and I say that, they think first I'm retarded. Then they think second, something wrong with me. But when they see it is all genuine, they just return it. And so what it does is it starts a fire of love. I tell you, I love you. Then the next person tell that person they love them. And now my whole family, before we get off the phone or while we're talking, I love you is exchanged. Not at my funeral, but so I tell my daughter, hey, I love you.
That's right.
And she says, I love you. But then I go and show her. I send her money. I still pay my child support, and I still send her gifts. And then I show up and spend the time, because there's nothing without the time. You got to be there. No matter what, you make precautions, concessions for everything else, but your daughter or your son. No, go share that time. You're going to get more out of that than you ever will think you will.
Man, I mean,
it's gonna be the best time of your life.
I mean, you said a lot just in these last few minutes, man, and so I'm reminded of the scripture that says love covers a multitude of sins, and so if you don't have love, that's the basis of everything of how you move, and so. What would you, as we're wrapping up, man, because, we could stay on the phone another couple hours, as you know, but as we wrapping up, man, what do you want to tell the fathers out there that might be listening that is trying to reestablish themselves with their child after, 5, 10, 15, 20 years, but their child doesn't want to have nothing to do with them? What do you tell them as you're an example right now of what it is to rekindle a relationship with their daughter?
I would say fight with love, man. Fight with all the love you got. The same love you used to go to that lady's house from the hours of 11 to 2.
Mm-hmm.
Use that same and the same intensity to go fight for your son or daughter. It don't matter what happened. Just love on them. Love on them. It don't matter what happened or what's taking place or what's going on. You continue to love on them. You have to fight for your love. You have to fight for your love. And if whatever you got to go through to get to your child, to let them know that you love them, even if they're denying you, you continue to love them. You don't stop. And even if they don't want to see you, you continue to send them a letter. Send them some flowers. Send them some cash. Pop up on them. Just tell them, I love you, man. I love you. I love you. Because a warm answer always turns away a harsh person.
That's it. That's Proverbs right there. I see you gaining the wisdom, brother.
So if I've had people ready to shoot me in my face, and I told them some kind words, and they didn't know what to do.
Yeah, man. I mean,
but if you fight for your daughter, man, do not stop. As long as you got air in your lungs and God has blessed you to breathe, He's giving you that for a reason, and that's one of the major ones. It will not work. It will not grow. It will not do anything unless you love on your own child. You are denying yourself if you don't. So please, I'm going to tell you, I love you in advance, and I love that the opportunity that you're going to go present yourself before your child. It's okay. You don't need, I used to think I had to be in the NFL, NBA, NASCAR. I had to be famous. You already famous to them. You're already a superstar to them. And all they want is your love and time. That's it. If you ain't got no job, no money, it's okay. You eventually gonna get it because you're gonna be tired of being thirsty, but go love on them. Go love on them. That's it. Just love on them. No matter what happened, no matter what transpired, it don't matter. Just love on them. Send them letters, serenade them, write them cards, sing to them. It don't matter. Act silly with them. Just go love on them and fight for your love. They tell you, nah, okay, I'll be back next weekend. I'll be back this time. I'll be back this time. One of the times they're going to let you in. And when they do, make sure you love on them. Make sure you be there and make sure you do what you say you're going to do. If you can't make the date, it's okay. It's okay. Just send them love. Hey, man, look, this is what's going on in my life. I need to take care of this. And as soon as I take care of that, your first priority, I'll be there on this day and make sure you come and spend that time with them. and clear your schedule on that day. Don't have to go work. Don't go get her and then have to go work or whatever. Or if that's all the time you got, then use that. But be consistent.
That's it.
And just love on them. And just love on them, man. And I promise you, guarantee you this. The love you send out, the more love you send out, the more love is going to come back. And it's going to come back to her or your child and the people around you. That's how the universe works. I don't understand it, but I work with it. I just send out love, and it comes back to me in all kind of forms.
That's it.
No weapon formed against you shall prosper. No weapon formed against you shall prosper if you keep the Lord first. And it's not a game, and His word will not come back for it.
Woo!
I love y'all, man.
And
I love y'all. I love y'all. Everybody who listening, I love y'all. Lead with love, man.
You heard it first from my friend Xavier Swanigan, rekindling a relationship with your son or daughter, man. This has been another episode of Fatherhood Fridays with your host with the most, talking to you coast to coast. And if you want to follow me, you can follow me a couple of ways. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Breaker, Stitcher, Bullhorn. We on 8 different platforms. If you want to check out my social media, you know the name. Just go to Facebook, type in my name. Go to Instagram, type in my name. Twitter, LinkedIn. I'm on 4 or 5 of them. If this message moved you in any way, go ahead and donate to this podcast by going to Anchor FM, Fatherhood Fridays, and going to the tab that says support. You can donate anywhere from 99 cents to $9.99, and it would be surely appreciated. Again, this has been another episode of Fatherhood Friday Season 4. And if you're listening to this at the very end, in the words of Drake, it's too late. Talk to you later. And here's a sneak peek into next week's Fatherhood Friday episode.
Whatever can be shaken will be shaken. And so as a father, as a man of God, I've got to be anchored, because if I'm anchored, then my family has somebody to look to. I've always been, big on trying to be an example, not trying to be perfect. And I don't want anybody to get that twisted. Being an example doesn't mean that you're perfect, because part of your example is what happens when you fail, when you fall.